instead is I'm going to record the whole thing and then I'm going to release it on YouTube, which makes a bit more sense. And actually, it's what the kids actually told me to do in the beginning. So I know that time is pressing. I reckon it's going to take me about a quarter of an hour to go through this. If you want to get yourself a cup of tea or anything, a cup of tea, a biscuit. I like how you helped yourself.
I'm in the opposite.
My word. So this is the second year we've done, actually, it's the second year I've done a Prague visit, to be honest with you. The school's been doing one, I think it would be the 4th year or something, the school's been doing one. And unfortunately for this year, it doesn't fall when there's a light show. There's a light festival in Prague, which is, I think it's this weekend. However, we went to it 3 years ago and the boys were very nonplussed about it and they thought it was awful. And to be quite frank, it's so congested because it's so popular. But it was a bit of a wet squid, to be honest with you. So there is good and bad in that. But we're going, hopefully we've got quite a packed agenda. And so, yeah, you're all here tonight just to have a look at what we're doing. So I will go through. So Prague 2019. How many of you kids have been to Prague? One. Ethan? No? No? So I've been twice, went to the school, and it's totally beautiful, a really lovely city, really gorgeous architecture. It's a really nice place to be. First time I went it was really cold, second time I went was this time of year, and it was really, really hot. Really hot, no bad weather, which was lovely, and we did a lot of walking around the city with the kids. And so it was quite an exhausting few days, but really nice, and you get to see some great sights. Okay, so this is the sort of information that you're really going to want to see. Where we're taking off from and what time. Well, it's an early one, it really is. It's 5:30 in the morning. Now, of course, if the kids are old enough, I'm very happy they come on their own, they get a Heathrow Express or something. I'm very happy to see them there. Terminal 3 is where it is. We don't want to take any large baggage or any there for 2 nights. And so it's just carry-on luggage. Which you've got dimensions here. The plane is VA852. We take off at 7:30. I think it's a 2-hour flight, and we land at 10:30 with the adjustment in time. We all know about what we can and can't take on a flight in regards to liquids. Now, we suggest about £150. I think that's probably a bit too much. What are they going to be buying? They're going to be buying lunch, really.
Where are you going for lunch?
Previously, we did have a drink in the evening, but we're not doing that. We're not having any alcohol. There really isn't that much to spend your money on. Other things, personal medication. If your boys have an inhaler or something, bring that along, of course. And once we touch down in Prague, we're going to travel to the accommodation, from the airport to the accommodation by coach, and we'll get to the accommodation for about midday. Kit-wise, I sort of touched on this, but it's going to be fairish weather. So what do you want to bring? You want to bring really a cadle, but more importantly, I think, than that is a really comfortable pair of shoes. Make sure that you're comfortable walking. So no new shoes, for example, an old pair of trusted shoes. Nice if they're waterproof, but we're going to probably be covering, I think we're covering about 10-15 kilometres a day when we went to Prague last time, and we certainly did that when we were in Munich. So yeah, something you're comfortable walking in. Anything else on there? Maybe some warm clothing, a couple of layers, maybe a hoodie, for example. Accommodation. We're staying in the Taurus Hotel for 2 nights. This is a 3.5-star rating on TripAdvisor. I know this always interests the boys. I always like to have a bit of a research. And I think it looks all right, to be honest with you. It looks like an all right hotel. And we're going to be eating breakfast there. We're not going to go for anything else there. I found that when you eat at the hotel, the standard of the meals is not particularly good. I don't think it's particularly good when it's arranged also by the travel company. So instead, My camera just went off. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to go out and get some meals. We're going to find a local place to eat out. So yeah, 3.5 star rating. Whereabouts is it? This is the centre of Prague here. This is a castle up here, and we're about 2 kilometres from the centre. There's a tram which goes along here. There's a tram which goes along there, I think, as well, and it goes up this sort of main artery. Previously, I think we were here, maybe we were down here, and we used to get off on this artery, and then we used to just walk in. And so it's reasonably well connected, which is great. So a couple of kilometres from town. We're going to arrive at midday, and the first thing we're going to do is probably go to this Cubist exhibition, although we might go to this TV tower first. This is quite local, so the idea is that we're going to go to the TV tower, which we can go up, and we can go onto this viewing platform, and we can see all around the city. It's amazing to see the way it's been planned out, the geometry of the city, very unlike London. So we'll go there first, I think. And that'll probably take us till about 2 o'clock or something. And then we'll go back to the Cubist exhibition. Now, the Cubist exhibition, or the museum, is in a Cubist restaurant, which is quite famous. It'd be really nice for the boys to go and see product design in regards to Cubist, but then go to a restaurant where everything has been designed in a Cubist aesthetic. So the light switches have been designed, for example, in that aesthetic. So that's going to be the thing they do in the afternoon. And then it's bowling in the evening. We'll find somewhere to eat, somewhere local, somewhere sort of Czech in its menu. Bowling in the evening for a couple of hours. So the next day is the big day, really. We get up and we're out of the hotel by 9 o'clock, and we go to this Crystal Bohemian glass factory. It's particularly interesting because they make glass, but they also carry a lot of glass. They'll make a vase, and then they may make 1,000 of them, but they'll make 2,000 of them, and they'll carry a lot of surplus. So wherever you go around this factory, there's surplus everywhere, and these vases and these plates are all breaking because of the faultless going around. It just shows you the way that we used to be as a manufacturing industry, carrying loads of surplus, and how we are now. So you go here and it does feel like it's back in the sort of almost like the 1900s. And then, of course, after that, that's in the morning, and then we go to Skoda. And Skoda is the complete opposite. So everything in Skoda is brought in that day, it's used that day. And last time we were there was a massive press where a huge piece of steel was brought in, and it was put into this machine, this automated machine. It was pressed, and then it was punched, and then it was pressed, and then pressed and punched. And it just came out within a minute as a car wheel. And so you could just see it moving, and out it came, and it was stacked. It was automated and just stacked. It's absolutely fantastic. It gives you a completely different aspect to what manufacturing can be and what it's like. And it's not. It's like a city or something. This place. It's so huge, and you get a bus around it to see the different sites. That's really nice. And actually, a very good restaurant there as well. Once we get back, we dropped about 5 o'clock with a bit of free time around the city, and then we'll go to this snooker hall. We found this last time, and it's colossal. It's got such high ceilings, and they're really ornate. And you go in there, they give you a ticket, and you've got to keep holding your ticket because you don't pay for anything whilst you're there, so you can order whatever drinks you want. And when you leave, you pay the guy on the door, and he takes all the money. But if you lose your ticket, you get fined. Last time, we didn't realise this was going on last time. We didn't realise it this time. And so 2 kids lost their tickets, and they were saying they might have drunk, £1,000 worth of drink, and we're like, look at the kids had 2 cokes. We just didn't understand the way things work. We were trying to pay for it, we didn't understand all of this. We do understand it now. So that won't happen. So I'll make sure that I get the tickets.
I was going to say, keep a hold of his and give him a warning.
And it'll be absolutely fine. But it's a really good laugh, and it's a really good night out. And it's really beautiful as well. It's a really beautiful location. There's table football as well, and there's pool, and there's something else there. It's there. Table tennis. That's right. Right out the back, there's table tennis. So that will conclude that day. A May day. After that, what we'll do is we'll go back to the hotel, wake up next morning, have breakfast at the hotel, and then we're coming out on the third day to the Technical Museum. The Technical Museum is really nice. Oh, my screensaver has front-facing camera. That's all right. Okay, so the Technical Museum is lovely. It explains the development of the bicycle and how that developed into the motor car and how the motor car's developed. And then it also goes on to talk about aeroplanes and how they've developed. And so you get to see really old aeroplanes, you get to see a lot of newer aeroplanes all in one location. So we're going to get a guided tour of that, and that would take us, I imagine that takes a couple of hours. And then in the afternoon we go to the Prusa factory, and the guys here will recognise the Prusa. Prusa are the 3D printers that we have bought. We've got 4 of them in the department. They're made in Prague, and we're going to go to the factory and have a look around. So that's going to be really interesting to see the new developments, and they do a guided tour. So that's excellent. So that's going to be really exciting. What else we're going to do? I'm trying to hook up with an architect to see if we can go to an architectural practice and have a look around there. And I'm trying to get in contact also with the product design just to see if we can make a few, I suppose, a relationship, build a relationship with somebody out there that we can go to their factory or we can go to their design shop. If we don't do that, we're going to be having a look at the sort of modern design in Prague, going around the more designer shops and having a look at modern product design. We may well get a tour of the city. We'll see how the finances are. Because there's quite a few boys going on this trip, we've got a bit of extra money, and so we'll take it from there. So
how many boys are going in that tour?
23 3 members of staff. So that's good, because we thought it'd be 2 members of staff and it'd be about 16, but it's been a very popular trip. And finally, at 6:30, we get the coach back to the airport. I've got the flight on there, and it arrives in London at 22:50. I'm not sure that I've been told. That's what it doesn't say. No. What terminal? I imagine it's 3. I'll confirm.
No, it says that. It says single file, same one as we are.
Oh, it doesn't say that. So I imagine it's terminal 3, but I can confirm that with the agent just to make sure. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Just to make sure that you're all going to the right terminal. You can follow us on this Instagram, DT_design-tech. If you follow us on there, you will get all of the updates. And we'll take quite a few photos whilst we're out there just to show you what's going on. So yeah, you can follow us on that. What do people have to pay for? They've got to buy their own lunches. Now, the school offers a certain amount of insurance. Just I'd read that document if I was you, because there's only a certain amount of money that will be paid out in certain situations. So it'd be good just to make sure you're aware of that. It is the school insurance. It's for every trip. It's the same, so it's no different for this trip. But just make sure you're aware of what you are covered for, what you're not covered for. Behaviour. Usually, what happens is the hotel wants to take €20 from each child just to make sure they behave themselves, or I can pay it in full. But it would be good if they have 20 €20. I'm not sure if it is. That's odd, isn't it? I just don't know why it's not.
It's terminal 3. Right? It is terminal 3.
It is, yeah. Brilliant. I don't know why that's not Czech Corona, so I'll just follow up on that. But I think that is the case. They want euros. There will be a certain amount of unsupervised time expectations in regards to that the kids don't mess around and they know how to behave. We basically want them to behave like they do at school, but they've obviously got more freedom. And there's going to be no alcohol, no smoking, and no drugs. Yes. Have you any questions? Rattle through that. Any questions, Ethan? Got a question? No.
Are you happy for the boys to make their way home, or are you expecting parents to come to the airport?
No, if you tell me that your child can make its way home, I mean, if it's definitely sixth form, I'm happy with it. At year 11, maybe.
Yeah, we're going to be in Cornwall, so Ethan is on this.
See, Ethan's on.
He's going to have to get a train the next morning and find us.
No, that's fine. As long as you just write to me, just say.
Yeah, we'll do.
That's the only thing. I'm very happy, but I also understand they're going to probably be making their way there as well because it's so early in the morning. I'm very happy with that. Just make sure they get out of bed.
And what about the rooms? Are they-
Aren't you on your own that morning? Yes. Sorry.
Are the rooms in the hotel, are they doubles or?
There's a mixture of doubles, triples, and quadruples, I believe.
Okay, and they just
What
down
usually
there, or how does it get
happens,
decided?
usually it all works itself out. Like, you'll get like, I don't know, six formers coming along, and there'll be 2 triples, and they'll just go in that one, or there'll be 4, and they can have the quadruple. It usually works itself out quite well. But what we try to do is keep the year groups to themselves.
Yeah.
How many year groups go?
Having 3 year groups.
How many year groups?
3 year groups. It's
Right.
11, 12, and 13.
Okay.
I haven't totted up how many from each, but it's got a healthier amount of year 12 and 13s going this year, which is really good because it is a sort of an upper school trip.
Yeah.
Usually we've had quite a lot of year 11s,
Yeah.
but it's nice to have the older boys. It's nice to have a great mix because then the younger boys can see what the older boys are doing, which is lovely. Anything else?
You've done very well to get that car factory as well.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That would be a fantastic. I've been to the amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. And I've been to BMW, I've been to Audi, and I think the Skoda's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And it's just it's more accessible. There isn't so much of the front of veneer. Like we went to BMW last time over at Berlin, and we weren't allowed to have a look at certain parts of it because they were developing new BMWs. That's all well and good, but we've paid for a tour.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
and we want to see that R&D, and they said, well, you can't. And they actually had blankets up at the window. And it's like, well, what good is that for us?
Yeah.
You know, that's no good for the boys. Seeing something different, seeing something innovative and new, they don't get to see that. So,
My eldest has gone off to Callum's gone off to study engineering, and he went on this trip. And in his personal statement, he wrote all about the factory
Yeah.
because he was so impressed.
no, because this is the second time for you, so you've probably seen the majority of the PowerPoint.
No, I hasn't been here to the last one, so it's fine. It's
Yeah.
all fresh for me.
Yeah, it has been a bit re-educated. But if you like, what I can do, I know a couple of people have turned up a bit later. I know people want to get away. If you want to get away, you're more than welcome to pop off to Mr. Spencer's talk.
Yeah.
So I can go through with other people what's going on.
Brilliant. Thank you so
Thanks very much indeed. Have a good
No problem. Sorry, Rasmus, for it, but I think that's probably the best way to do it.
So this is going to be on YouTube if I still need to check stuff, or you actually sending us
Tell you
an
what, I'm
You're
gonna
sending us
send
an email as
Send this
well.
out. This has gone to you.
Has it already? Oh, okay.
It's gone as a PDF. So you've got this. I can then
okay.
try and share this. I think.
No, that's fine.
Is that the DC design tech?
Yes, DC Design Tech.
Hey.
Oh no, sorry, no, it's DT. DT Design Tech.
Oh, I can
Design
find
Technology.
I found DC design tech instead.
Oh, maybe it is DC.
Just threw me off Reddit.
That's fine. That's
I'll have to
Oh, whatever.
remember
It's
now.
No worries.
I think you might be right. Makes more sense actually. doesn't it?
Yeah, but if you work in DT, it's always going to be confusing.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Is there anything that?
Do you want me to go through it with you?
Yeah, if there's anything helpful PDF.
Fantastic.
Do you need the consent from parents?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I do need it really
You
from you
guys are
guys.
doing the
Yeah.
drop off
You
for
do.
3
Sit there,
years.
send it through.
I mean, they're not in the country.
I know. I sort of know what's going on.
No, don't watch
I
series.
have
That's
heard
good.
from your mother, so I wouldn't be.
Yeah,
Just
no,
if you got lost,
Yeah,
right, and then
I'm not used to being in the middle of nowhere. Used
and
to
it's
be.
like, well, it's like, well, because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know it was
Well,
That's not a
I can
problem.
get one with the truck. Was it
If they could just
Heathrow?
send me a mail to say,
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't
let's
even
get
know.
on the day,
Is it far from here? No.
Heathrow?
Yeah.
release it.
Probably quite.
So that's
Oh yes, of course. You have to go more rest.
At that time of day, it doesn't matter.
Can I just see days on
You
too?
guys
Yeah.
took a good rest.
Days
Oh,
on.
that's the point.
No, it'll be
Always
fine
better
in the
a second
evening
time.
as well because it's quite late.
Just has to pay the
I'll wait for
emission
it.
zone.
I'd wait for it.
I run through it a second time.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. So obviously, front page, Prague, beautiful city. That's from the clock, which is beautiful, and that's amazing to see every half hour the little figurines come out. But last time we went, it was really warm, and we did a lot of walking. So that's one of the things I want to stress: that make sure that the kids bring nice, comfy footwear to walk in. When do we take off? We take off at 7:30. Sorry, 5:30. They're going to be there. We'll take off at 7:30. So we're going to be there 2 hours beforehand. and then touchdown is 10:30 local time in Prague. There's the usual things about hand luggage, and don't bring a big suitcase like kids have done in the past. Just bring a little one, otherwise you've got to wait and pick it up the other end.
So you just want hand luggage? Yeah.
Yeah, we're only going for 2 nights, so it's not, you don't have to bring a lot. Okay, kit wise, the forecast is good, so and yeah, we're going to go up there and just the whole city. I think the whole city was time, and the town planning is quite out from the middle. And we'll get there and we'll spend probably half an hour looking over the city. Then we'll get down from there. We'll go down into the main city and we'll go to this place, which is a Cubist museum, which is.
Sorry, I've got another talk as well. There's 3 of them
What time
tonight.
does it start? Is
The
it
Morris is that, or is it?
No, there's another one.
There's a careers one at 7. There's one at 6:30, which is the wellbeing.
Yeah.
Listening to your children.
You've got
Sorry,
this.
sir.
No, you've got this anyway. Thanks a lot. That's all right. Pleasure.
I'll just go to the 7 o'clock one.
Thank you very much.
See you
Have
later.
I heard everything?
Sorry, thanks for cash, very much.
Oh yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks.
And then we've got the museum, so they're going to see product design in the museum. And then afterwards we have hot chocolate above, which is a cafe. And that's got loads of product design and it's got loads of Cubist fixtures and fittings in it. That's really lovely.
Do they get to chat to any of the engineers in any of the, or the designers at any of the spots that you visit?
I mean,
Or is it all just tour guides?
it's tour guides really. I think they will when they go to the Prusa place. I think that will be a lot more intimate. And it's a much smaller factory. Skoda they won't. Definitely not. And that's why I want to talk about it with like an architect or something, you know, an actual design agency, consultancy. It's quite difficult when you're not in the country to try and get somebody to buy into you, because they probably just think you're actually not a school at all, you're not a leader. And that's why it's quite good to go through these tours, but they don't cater for stuff like that. So it's a little bit difficult, but it'd be nice if we could meet somebody out there who's, you know, a designer.
Yeah. It's good to meet people that have gone into careers that are relevant to things we're thinking about doing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like when we went to Berlin, I had a friend who worked over there, and I got him to help us. Or he did a tour, just what he did over there, and that's really interesting. But I don't know anyone in Prague. You know, anyone who works there or anything.
I don't either.
No.
So day 1 Cubist. I think I came in at day 3. So
Day 3, let's keep on going. So we've got the we've got that sort of lunchtime at the tower, back to the Cubist, have a hot chocolate upstairs, then we're going to go and have a look round at this astronomical clock, and we're also, astrological clock, then we're going to go to the Charles Bridge, and we're going to have a look at the bridges, and we're going to have a look at the architecture, which will be lovely. We might get a tour, I'll see, we'll see how the finances are. And then in the evening, we're going to go out for some food. Previously, I think the food on trips is quite bad if you order it through the provider. And the best food we had when we went to Berlin was just getting something whilst we were out. Hello. Come in.
So sorry.
That's
Shall
all
we
right.
start again?
Please
No, let's just see day 2 quickly, and then we'll scoot off. and
Just
start
keep going.
again.
Yeah. So, day 2 is the main day. What we'll do is we'll go from day 2 and then we'll just go right to the beginning again for you.
Happy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's alright, we're doing it the second time for us, so you'll see it the first time.
So, what we have is day 2, which is the main day really. Wake up and we're going to be going out to this Crystal Bohemia glass factory, which is quite amazing because the factory is quite old fashioned. It makes glass, it blows glass, it engraves glass. But when you go around the factory, there's just all these silos of these glass pots or glass vases that have been produced when they've set up a mould, but they've had a run of, I don't know, they've had an order of 1,000, but they produce 2,000, and they keep 1,000 because it costs so much to make or put the mould together that they overproduce every time. But what you end up with is all this surplus everywhere. And there's all these silos with all these smashed pieces of glass in. And it's amazing just to see the inefficiency of this place. And you go upstairs and you see these people engraving with masks on. And you think, right, how long is that taking? And you can imagine if there was a CNC machine, it would be able to do it in seconds. Maybe not as beautifully, but definitely more efficiently. And so we go from this place where you walk out there really asking questions like, is this guy here or girl is engraving as they are over here? And after that, we go to Skoda, and Skoda is completely different, in a different side of it. And here, all the materials that arrive here are getting used that day. So there isn't that whole thing of they're going to be sitting around for a long time. They are, they're used within hours of arriving there, and so a piece of steel, piece of steel sheet, it'll be stamped.
That's just in time.
Yeah, exactly. And then what you'll get is a car wing coming out, and then that'll go and be sprayed, and that'll be fitted onto the car, and the car will be leaving the plant within 3 days of the piece of steel coming in. So it's really interesting that they don't carry any stock, or they carry hardly any stock. And we get whizzed around here in a coach, and we see different aspects of it. We see the painting of it as well. So that's a really good day. We come back and we get dropped off, and we're going to go to this place, which is a traditional Prague a pool hall, which has got massive ceilings, and we go and play pool in there for a couple of hours. And it's quite fun in there. You don't buy any drinks, you get given these tokens. But the trouble is, if you lose your token, there's a massive fine at the end. So last time we didn't understand how it worked. We were always trying to buy our drinks, and when we left, we went to leave, and 2 kids had lost their tokens. And so it's just awful trying to get out and saying, look, they're sitting on the mat, I've drunk loads and loads of beer, and we're saying this kid is he's in the fifth year or year 11, and he's had 2 cokes. We can't pay all this money that you're suggesting. So this time when we go in, I'm going to take all the tickets. I'll be buying the drinks. But yeah, it's quite good just to see the other aspect of the city and the way that people go out and what they do. So we'll be there for a couple of hours. Before that, we'll go to Hard Rock Cafe and get a burger. Kids always quite like it there. It's reasonably consistent, the standards you get across the different cities. So that's the second day over. Third day, breakfast at the hotel. And then we'll go to the Technical Museum.
Yeah, I think.
You've seen that.
Thank you. We're going to get. Sorry, we came in halfway through.
No, that's all right.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. Thank you. It looks phenomenal. If you have any kids drop out and you need somebody to fall asleep.
Yeah, sure thing.
No, she won't. Prague is awesome.
Thank you.
It's funny enough on Monday.
So yeah, we go to this museum, the technical museum. We've got a guide showing us around, and we'll spend about probably 2 hours there. And it's quite north in the city, so probably after that we'll go for a walk around the gardens at the top, and we may come down through the castle and then go to this Prusa factory. Prusa make 3D printers. They're recently a new company. 3D printers that 3D print themselves, which is quite interesting.
Oh wow!
And so a lot of the 3D printers will be used in the manufacture of the actual machines.
Yeah.
And so that's quite good. And you can see it doesn't look like a normal factory. It looks like a load of kids there, really putting bits and pieces together. So we'll go and have that run there. I've never been there before, but I'm really interested to see what it's like. And after that, we might try and do a bit of shopping or go around some high-end shops, having a look at some product design in the sort of retail sector. What is good, what's bad. We might do a bit of that, but that's going to take us through to about 6:30 when we have to leave. So we'll go back to the hotel about 6:30. We'll leave, get to the airport for I think it takes about an hour and a half to get to the airport, and then I don't know what time the flight leaves on here, but it arrives back at
I've got at 9:30 because it's a 2-hour flight, and it said 9:30 on there.
And so we arrive back at that time. Terminal 3, I've been told by a father that's here earlier on, which is absolutely correct, I imagine, because that's where we fly out of. And it's my emergency details. That's going to be the school phone. That's my number if you want to ring me. This, I think, is incorrect. I think it is actually DC.
All right.
Oh, this worked. DC. Does that got one in there or not? No. But anyway, I changed that. I sent that out.
Is that the PDF that you sent in your
yeah.
email? Okay.
What do people have to pay for? They've got to pay for their own lunches. Insurance, just have a look at that so you know how your child is insured. I'm sure everything will be fine. Behaviour conduct. Previously, they had to pay €20 at the hotel. I think it is euros they pay. Although they need Czech koruna to spend in the city, but I think they accept euros as well. As I imagine they probably
Is that a bond sort of thing?
Yeah, exactly. You get it back at the end. We've had no trouble previously getting it back. But the kids are usually very well behaved. I'm sure there will be this
How many
time.
children are you taking?
23.
Okay.
Yeah, 23, 24, 23 I think it is. 3 members of staff. So it's a 1 to 8,
pretty good
which
ratio,
is really good. I think we can go 1 to 10 in school at this age. Of course, no alcohol, no smoking, and no drugs. You know, it goes without saying, really. Shall I go around and show you the first day, and then we can do some questions?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That'd be great, thank you. No, it's quite picky. There's one left. There'll be dinner if you want to share it with me.
Okay.
There we go, Prague, 2019. A few pictures of Charles Bridge on the left-hand side. We've got this astrological clock here, which is really good, and you can see little figurines coming out every half hour, which is lovely.
It's beautiful. I've been 4 times.
Yeah, totally.
It's
I
cool
don't know how
city.
old it is, but it's amazing that they say they can make something like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And just the city itself is quite beautiful, I think. You
It's
know,
a stunning
quite
city.
Quaint. Take off. It's an early one, 5:30 in the morning.
It's later than I'm used to. I've had a few 4 a.m.
4 a.m. is ever so, and 5:30 is pretty early. We got taken up at 7:30, so we were there 2 hours before. This is the flight BA 852, touchdown at 10:30, but I think it's a 2-hour flight with an hour's difference. The baggage, take the smaller baggage, the carry-on, opposed to the whole luggage.
We're trying to take carry-on only.
Yeah, carry-on only. Otherwise, we've just got to wait for other people just to put
that's fine.
the luggage in.
No problem. Matt can go away for a week with the carry-on, so
I know,
3 days will be
absolutely.
easy.
3 days.
He doesn't smell that good at the end.
No, I just get rid of it. Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
You know they've gone because the smell stops.
Yeah. No licorice, you know. Make sure you get your passport, eating card, spending money. I reckon about 4,500 Czech koruna, 150 quid. Medication if they've got any, and we travel by coach from the airport to the accommodation. which is what I imagine you would expect. Kit, it's going to be fair. That's a long range weather forecast, so make sure that they've got some comfortable shoes. Probably Kaggle, a couple of layers they can take on or off depending upon how hot they are, but comfortable shoes is really important.
I like how you've chosen the picture that someone's in shorts and a
I know,
vest.
I thought that. I put that out there.
It's 12 degrees.
Yeah.
It's not warm.
But I was trying to get pictures of people in Prague that are dressed up. It's you know, a walking. There was a lot of people in Prague, but not so much walking. No, it does look like the middle of summer, doesn't it? But maybe it's going to be a heat wave, maybe. Alright, so accommodation. Accommodation is this place, Hotel Tourist. It looks quite good. It looks fine, you know. It's not 5-star, but you wouldn't expect it to be, would you? It is good. We've got 2, 3 and 4 berth rooms. Staff have got 1 berth, or they've got single rooms. We're there for 2 nights. They're going to provide breakfast for us. We're not going to eat there because I've never been that impressed previously with.
Yeah, you're better off to go out.
it's
And
fine
it's always overpriced anyway.
Yeah, so and that's what we found when the travel company have put us in particular restaurants. The food isn't good, and then we got charged so much for a couple of bottles of water. It was something like
It's funny because
£12.
it's so cheap, Prague. I used to
Yeah.
pay like 50 pence for a beer.
Yeah.
Like, you know, proper stun, and it's just, and good. If you find the right places, it's very, very easy to eat cheaply
Yeah.
and well.
Well, if it's not the euro, I imagine it because the euro is so expensive.
Yeah.
And I went to Greece in the summer and I was amazed how expensive it was.
Pounds
because of the
for
euro.
stun.
So that's when we land and we get to the hotel. We are about 2 kilometres from the centre. We can get a tram for a kilometre or we're a bit far to walk, so we'll probably get a tram to about here and then we'll walk in. And there's this big artery here, and trams go up there as well. And so, yeah, it's pretty easy to get around, and you probably know it's also local.
Yeah.
It's also
It's
small.
not a big city.
No, and then you've got the castle up here, so the technical museum is around here, or might even be on the other side of the river. Actually, you can sit here. And so after you've been to the technical museum, you can walk through these lovely gardens. And that, but I think the 3D company is somewhere around here, so we might, I don't know what we'll do, but we'll work out exactly how we're going to get around, and we'll see how people are as well, and see how mobile people are. On that first day, once we have arrived and we've settled in, we're going to go to this place, which is TV Tower. We're going to go up there, and it's like an observation deck. We can see over the city, which is really lovely. We get to see the town plan and how it all radiates out from the middle, and there seems to have been like an overview of how everything was going to be built.
Cool.
So I'll go there, and then we'll go back to. We'll go on, but I go back to this Cubist exhibition, this Cubist museum, which is really good. We'll go and have it around at this and have a look at different products. This is at a very famous Cubist restaurant. And so after that, we'll go upstairs to the Cubist restaurant and get a cup of coffee or a cup of hot chocolate. And it's lovely in there because everything has been designed, you know, Cubist aesthetics. You've got the light switches with very Cubist, the seating is, everything is.
It's pretty cool.
So it's nice to see, yes, these are different products, but this is how they are used, this is how they can be used.
Yeah.
And so we'll go upstairs and have a hot chocolate. After that, we'll walk around Prague. That'll take us to sort of late afternoon, and we're going to get some traditional Prague fare. Not sure where yet, but we'll find somewhere. And after that, we're going to go bowling, and that's what we
Keeping it busy.
Yeah, totally. There's loads to do, but it's the best way to be. Otherwise, they start to
Boys start doing naughty things when
exactly
you
what I
get
was
bored.
going to say. If you're given time,
TikTok.
city, you know, the kids, you know, they're foreign in the city, so they might look a bit older. And, you know, you just got to be careful. But I've never had any problems in the past.
Cool.
So there we go.
Very good.
Excellent. Okay.
Thank you for that. Sorry
Any
we were late.
questions?
No, it's like fun.
No.
So we got the PDF anyway. You sent that out today, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got all the details. I already looked up the flights and stuff, so we go Sunday morning, so we can only go to the country for.
Was it